Hey everybody, welcome to Behind the Build with Scott and Deven. I'm Scott.
And I'm Deven.
We're really excited. This is our premiere episode of our new podcast. And we're just going to kind of tell you guys a little bit about it in this episode. It's just an introduction to why we decided to do the podcast, a little bit about the two of us, a little bit about the history of Mitchell Homes.
That's right.
And we've just had a lot of people that have come to us over and over again, and they really don't understand the process.
That's right.
So we want to inform you guys, tell you a little bit about it. And
Try to get you guys behind the scenes of all the different aspects, things that you can expect, things that you can count on, maybe things that you don't or aren't aware of that we can help inform you on. So this is a real casual environment where, we designed it so that we can just talk with you guys, like as if we were sitting at a table here with you. We want it to be fun. We want it to be light, super engaging. So, I hope you have a good time and I hope you get something from it. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's just start there. Let's just talk about each other.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about you? I know, but they don't know.
You don't know me that well.
I don't know you that well.
So I'm Scott Sleeme. I'm the president of Mitchell Homes. My father, Mitch, started the company back in 1992. He had another building company prior to Mitchell Homes. Decided to start Mitchell Homes, and the whole premise of the company was to basically build a company that could build on people's land for them with little to no money down. And I know we're going to get more into Mitchell Homes. As far as I'm concerned, I grew up around construction. I grew up with my dad doing this, the majority of my life. Went through high school kind of cleaning up construction sites during the summer. Whenever I was on break, I'd ride with the supervisors in their trucks.
It's always fun.
Sweep job sites. Not a very glamorous job,
No.
but I learned a lot and taught me a little responsibility.
Nice. Yeah, so I am from Southern California originally, not a Virginia native, so still kind of learning. I've been here about 2.5 years now. Started in construction when I was 19 years old, and I started out as a laborer. So I started out doing the things that you were riding around doing in the summertime. I did that full time and worked with a developer out in Denver, which is where I kind of started. Moved from Southern California to Denver, and then worked there for 20 years. And by the time I left that opportunity, I was the vice president of field services. So got a chance to kind of grow through the whole process of building residential builds. We were about $350 million, so we weren't small. I've been around it all my whole life. This is all I really know. Then met my wife, and we migrated to New Jersey, and I built superstructures there. Scott's wife and my wife are friends, so we decided we would work together. I've got 7 children, if you all can believe that, and 6 grandchildren. 3 little babies here at home, and my wife Annie works here in Virginia and went to college here, so we're really happy here in Virginia, and great to be part of the Mitchell Homes team. And it's a blessing to be able to service all of our customers with that experience.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we'll tell you guys more about how Deven actually ended up coming here later. That's another story. But,
that's right.
So after high school, I did my undergraduate at James Madison University in Virginia. Ended up doing a little traveling, bartending in Greece after that. Didn't really want to get serious yet. So when I came back from all that and kind of came back to reality, I went to business school, got my degree at University of Richmond. Just about the time that I was finishing up was when 9/11 happened, and it wasn't a great time to be coming out of business school looking for a job.
No, definitely not.
No, so I decided to talk to my dad about coming into the family business. It ended up happening. Wasn't something I had originally planned on doing, but I wouldn't change it. I love it. Definitely would not change that. So that was in 2002 when I started here, and I started in marketing and advertising. Did a little bit of everything. I sold homes. I got my contractor's license. I built some homes, supervised the construction of the homes, and eventually, in about 2009, My dad retired, and that's when I took over as president. So
he had been in the business for a long time, right? He had actually been building for several years prior to Mitchell Homes.
Yeah,
right?
prior to Mitchell Homes, he had another company called Virginia Family Homes. Similar concept. It was a build on your lot builder. They were building in 5 states in the Southeast.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Lots of history there, for sure. So real quick, the intention of this is, like we said just a few minutes ago, we really want to inform you guys about all the different facets of what we do, from how to buy your land, what to expect once you purchase that land, the kind of customer needs that you're going to have to fulfill in order to make that land buildable, kind of try to help you through some of the pitfalls of what you might find in purchasing land, down to utilities, wells and septics, just kind of getting through the whole thing, right?
Yeah. I think, I mean, it's, we've been doing it for so long, and it's like every day we see something new. We hear from our customers, and, they may not have been aware of something.
Right.
You go to like builder websites, and basically they have an FAQ section.
Right.
And it just doesn't give you a whole lot of information.
That's right.
Salespeople know, they know a certain amount, but they don't know everything. And, so there can be a lack of communication that's not intentional.
Right.
And I think that, to me, is kind of why we want to do this, is to really, really talk about some of the stuff in depth so that we can prevent some of those, miscommunication gaps.
Right. I think it's a lot to take in initially. So, you're sitting down, you're having these conversations with our sales folks. You're maybe you have the land already, or you're in the process of buying land. There's a lot of things going on, a ton of moving parts. So we want to simplify that and really give you guys, the hours and hours of dialogue that we plan to do here, so that you at your leisure can really sit back and what were they saying about this, or what did they say about that? And, things that we can really help inform you guys about along the entire process. So folks, you may have seen some of the construction conversations that we did. This is basically along the same line, but just expanded, so that you're not trying to absorb it all in like a 3 or 4 minute video. This is going to really help you kind of understand all the different phases. And certainly, we're open to questions. We're going to open that up as we go. We'll get a few of these episodes down, and then we'll make sure that we open up a platform for you guys to submit your questions, so we can answer those questions in the podcast and go forward from there.
Yeah, and I think, one of the cool things about this, neither Deven or I have prepared for these at all. We're not going to. We don't want them to be scripted. We just want to have a conversation, give you guys the knowledge that we already have. If there's things that we haven't answered, like Deven said, we would love to get your questions. We'll give you guys a avenue to submit those questions to us, and then we'll have episodes that are just answering your questions.
That's right.
Yeah, as we progress through these, we'll go over all that. We'll make sure you guys have that information. You know exactly where to submit your questions, and I think those will be some fun episodes.
Right. And this is light, like Scott said. It's not scripted. This is us. We'll have a subject that we'll touch on, and we'll utilize the folks behind the camera to help keep us in line. We'll be referencing Tucker often, and she's going to be helping us. We'll have some guests on. We can really go deep into certain details. We're going to try to bring some of the suppliers, vendors, tradesmen in here to really have some good in-depth conversations on certain areas, mechanical areas where there's very detailed specifics of what we do and why we do it. Just take an extra step into, what we do. But this first premiere episode is designed to introduce you guys to us. We want to express our gratitude to each and every one of you listening. We want to express our great gratitude for those who've already built with us or made those decisions. We care. We want to be here for you guys. We know that this isn't a perfect science. Nothing about building is perfect. Being in this over 30 years has taught me that it's never perfect, but we strive every single day to make sure that we're providing the best product at the best price that we can possibly give. And this should fill in some of those gaps. This should help fill those gaps in for the salespeople that don't maybe have all the answers. And, I imagine our salespeople are going to refer you guys a lot to these videos to get some of that inside information.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think Deven talked about the construction side of things. He'll be going a lot more into depth on that stuff than I will. I think we plan to bring in a lender so we can talk more about the Simply Mitchell financial advantages, which is totally unique to Mitchell Homes. We'll get into both sides of things. We'll get into the sales and we'll get into the construction, and we'll get into the customer responsibilities. We'll introduce you guys to all of our internal employees. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it.
Me too. Me too. And, the thing I love the most is that we do operate a lot like family. Scott and I have known each other for years. Our wives have known each other for years. We feel comfortable with one another. As the executive vice president and the president, we have a lot of responsibility, but we do try to have a lot of fun and, take this, like you probably all take your careers, serious at times and laugh when you can and cry when there's need for tears. And we do everything that we can to, provide the best product and service that we can. And this is just an extension of that. We want to provide a service that nobody else is providing. We want you guys to be able to feel like you're behind the screen, behind the curtain, and understand what we do so that nothing feels like a surprise. We've got these, let's touch on this really quick. We have an Avid score system, and we talk about it in one of the construction videos that we just released, but it's really important because we hear that feedback, which is a lot of that is prompted this because some of the confusion that we see in the score, some of the text responses that we get, it's clear that there's some stuff that not everybody grasps all at once. So I think that this is a good platform for you guys to kind of feel that you could do it at your leisure, not stuck in a sales office where you feel like you got to absorb all this information in an hour or in 2 hours. It's just impossible to do. And you're going to forget stuff, and they may forget stuff. And we have checks and balances to keep you informed along the way. But I think this is going to be the best platform for that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. Have you built a home before, Deven?
Oh, yeah.
You have? Yeah. I mean, it's so challenging. I mean, I've built a couple for my family. I wanted to pull my hair out. It's crazy. It's crazy, like how stressful that can be.
And I do it. And I do it for a living, and I know exactly, what I think the pitfalls are, and I see them coming, and it doesn't mean that I can avoid them. To your point, it's such a challenge, but those were all the memories are made.
Right.
So through all the hard work, through all the effort, through the highs and lows, through the disappointments and joys, you're having your holidays, you're having your birthdays, you're having your anniversaries, you're bringing your first child home or your grandkids home. These are the things, and this is what's made me love this business. Yeah. Forever. I mean, as a young man, nobody starts out saying, I want to build houses. You kind of fall into that, but you learn to love the things that you do, and the things that you do well, you love even more. Yeah. And then some of the greatest joys and greatest blessings outside of building the stuff in New Jersey where you're building these monuments, but they're just monoliths. They're just these huge things. This is personal. This is where you guys have all those holidays, and every time I go into a home or every time I meet with a customer, it does bring me a lot of joy that you're going to be able to have a house on some land that you've owned for generations. I love those stories. I met with a customer not that long ago that it was like 5 or 6 generations that they've had that land, and they're just now getting to build a home on it. And that's the most special thing I think I'm not going to talk bad about community builders, but communities are different, right? This is stuff that's very passionate for people, and it's a different environment. So it's really great that we get a chance.
Yeah, they have an emotional connection with the land, and
it's crazy.
It is as challenging as it is, and everything we just talked about. It's I've always kind of equated it to running a marathon. It sucks when you're doing it,
right?
But when it's over, you get that high, and it's just something that you want. You want to do it again.
That's
right. It's kind of like the same thing with building a house. It's a process, but I think we do a really good job of taking away a lot of that stress. I didn't have that because I didn't hire Mitchell Homes. I did it on my own. So, it makes it a little bit harder, but I think that's really what our goal as a company is to take that stress away. And I think, I hope that this podcast goes a long way towards, giving all of you some of that information that you may not have gotten otherwise.
Not to beat a dead horse, but we are going to go into everything, including the reviews and what they mean. We want to be very transparent. We want to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to talk about this stuff so that when you're searching Mitchell Homes and you see something that's negative, we want to address it. We want to talk about it. We don't want to hide behind anything. This whole process is so that you feel like we're fully transparent about things and how they are. Not a lot of companies are going to do that. They're not going to open up the gates. But this is what we feel is our commitment to our customers, is like a very transparent, as best we can, environment. We are so excited to bring this to you. We're happy. Like I said, it's unscripted, so you're going to get a bunch of stuff that sounds a little hokey, but here we are, and we're proud to bring this to you. And we look forward to seeing you guys soon. We should have these things drop in a couple a month, maybe two, 3 a month, something like that at that rate.
Yeah.
And something that we can all enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, our first episode, that'll be soon. The first episode after this initial introduction, and we're going to talk to you about what you need to do when you're looking to actually buy land, because we get a ton of people that come to us looking for land. They don't already own the land. So that'll be our first episode, and there's going to be a lot of cool stuff to come after that. So we look forward to seeing you guys soon.
All right. We'll chat with you guys real soon.